This is Alex Grover with Utah Sustainable Gardening and Quarter Acre Homestead. It is December 8th in Lehi in Utah in the United States. And these are my bees. I only check them intermittently now, only when it gets above 50 degrees. And this is the first time we've had temperatures like that they've been out and active. Unfortunately, there's no pollen coming in, which doesn't surprise me, and that means there's no nectar, honeydew, or really anything else coming in. So while I'm grateful they are alive, I've got some concerns. They're going to burn through a lot of food really fast with this hot, cold weather. So come February, if it's warm enough, I'm going to have to feed the snot out of these. If we keep on getting these warm spells, I'm going to have to check their feed and see if I have to supplement feed even then. And it's really hard in Utah these days because we'll have a really warm winter, then we'll get cold again. And so genetically, the bees have to really be able to handle both conditions. And when you're trying to establish genetic lines that work well in Utah, that's a difficulty. I'd also like to point out that my hive, that cinder block that it's on, is actually sinking in the back towards the back end of the hive. It used to be higher on that end. So at some point I'm going to have to go in, probably next year after I'm feeding. I'd like to not feed, but this year I just don't think there's enough stores, so I'll have to re-level that. I'll probably get some shims because this soil is just not proving to be easy to work with that. So I'll probably put a second cinder block, probably that one there, on it, and then probably shim up between them so that there's some even ground for the bees to work on. But yeah, so right now, I'm going to take the good. They're still alive. Earlier here, just about the time I started filming, they were doing a lot of what looked like orientation flights, facing the hive, back and forth, facing the hive, back and forth. And so there's a bunch of bees that are trying to find their way around. Again, unfortunately, that's a huge amount of honey they're going to burn through. And that's one of the reasons I'm not an advocate of strictly not feeding the bees. Sometimes they need a hand, and I never could quite build up this hive enough as late as I started it, so I'll probably be feeding come again about February. Anyway, this is Alex Grover with Quarter Acre Homestead and Utah Sustainable Gardening. Manana.